Good morning, biscuits. Today, I want to be brave. I want to be brutally honest about stuff that makes me feel weak and then makes me feel guilty that I feel weak about it. But the last 3 days, I've had progressively worse panic attacks. They'll start pretty much from the time I wake up, and then by the time it's the evening are like in full blown. I feel like by last night, I felt like a bear was gonna hunt me down. I don't know. You're okay, mother. And eat me. Like, my panic was that high. I was Googling, like, can I take any of my panic medication that I got prescribed like a year and a half ago when I was having those panic attacks over being so sick. And I was like, well, I haven't had, that was the only time in my life I'd ever had panic attacks. They'd gone away. I was like, okay, that's natural. The illness had gone away. And then they came back the last several days, and I was flummoxed. Like, what has triggered this? What has caused this? What is going on? Am I losing my mind? It was the feeling. And I finally was able to say out loud yesterday that, I had been talking to several moms about babysitting for like 2 to 4 hours a week for me, for both of them. So that I could just get some work done that I just can't get done with juggling both of them, right? I need like a couple hours a week to focus in on certain things. And it wasn't mommy guilt, because that had been my thing. I was like, was I feeling guilty for getting babysitting? I'm like, no, not at all. And what I realized it really was coming back to, and what resonated when I said it out loud finally, I was talking to my mom and dad on the phone going, I'm having this horrible panic attack, talk to me. And I was finally able to say out loud, just spontaneously, that it was the worry of COVID and bringing in somebody that isn't as cautious as me into the bubble to babysit, and just real fear over, this pandemic. And that what had set that off was the idea of, opening up our bubble enough to have a babysitter come in. And that I thought, being fully vaccinated, that I would feel okay with that. And it was really unexpected that it just filled me with such anxiety and I guess terror in a subconscious way, because my body just reacted with this fierce panic attack that kept coming up and up. It was like constant cresting waves, and they never went down enough to let me catch my breath. And like, I thought, am I being lazy? I'm not focusing on work. I can't get anything done. I feel like the house was extra messy because I couldn't focus on cleaning. And what I realized was that I was just feeling completely overwhelmed from the panic attacks. Like they were being triggered, and that it really just felt so overwhelming. And I'm being honest. It makes me uncomfortable to be this honest, and I feel like it makes me sound weak. Like I'm having panic attacks over finding a babysitter for a couple hours. Oh my goodness. But it really did set off just my health anxiety over all of this. And one of my reactions, you know what, my camera is blinking at me. Let me come back in a moment. Okay, it worked. I'm back. But yeah, it really, like, getting vaccinated, one of my side effects was that it flared up some of that musculoskeletal pain I've been having from when I was sick, and that had gone away. And it was just for like a couple days, right? But I think that all of that piled on top with hiring a babysitter and really just like triggered something in me that I was so unprepared for. And like, I woke up this morning having last night finally said this out loud for the first time, because I just couldn't recognize, like, I didn't even recognize that I was having these panic attacks. I thought I was just like not feeling well and not being focused, and like I was in such denial that I was even denying that I was having these panic attacks. And I woke up this morning, I just felt so much better having said it out loud. I'm still feeling all the anxiety from that, but like, oh my goodness, okay, I understand. Like, this was my mind's reaction to all of this. I think you can hear her sucking on her hand. She probably wants some milkies. She's been drinking all morning. Oh my goodness. Yes, from the wee hours, my love. And it was just such a powerful thing to admit. Like, I hate having panic attacks. They are terrible and have come out of such left field in my life that it confuses me, because I'm generally a pretty mellow, go with the flow, whatever's, kind of person. So, and in my mind, people have panic attacks are like, they're control freaks, they're type A's, and, it's just like when things are out of their control. And I'm like, oh no, I was really judgy biatch about all of that stuff before this happened. And I went, oh no, it can just happen to anybody, right? Like, you press the right stressor buttons in somebody's life and it triggers this. So, guys, I don't have a solution because I do have to work, I do have to pay our bills and that's important. And I need a little bit of help to be able to do that. I sent out a text message late last night to my siblings that are in there. And I'm like, who can watch them for 2 hours a month? But really, if I'm being honest with myself, I need several hours a week where I have uninterrupted work time so that I can get my projects done that are due, right? Like I run this whole business and I know I play it off as like, oh, just that, but it takes a lot of time and effort. And it's such a hard pull of the immense anxiety I have about bringing a babysitter in, which clearly, like, I need to work through, I finished painting the wall. Oh, yeah, that made me feel good. Because I feel like, as I get my anxiety under control and I recognize what it's from and I understand what's triggering it, and I give myself a little mental space to not be juggling it all for a little bit here and there, just focus on work when they have a babysitter, just focus on them because I've gotten my work done, instead of being in this constant, whirlpool of contradicting things that are just sucking me down below my brain's ability to handle. I think it's good for everybody, but this has been really hard for me to say and to be okay with. I feel like there's so many things around the house to get done, and I was verbalizing because I had my mental health check at my 6 weeks postpartum, but it was almost 8 weeks. It was like a day shy of, it was a day shy of 8 weeks because I had to cancel. My midwife had to cancel, so it was at my almost 2 months postpartum, and they do mental health evaluation, and I was able to articulate the stress as the house is messy. I want to be able to clean it. I was not able to articulate to my midwife that like this, because I wasn't having the panic attacks at that moment, that this stress was triggering all of this, because I didn't recognize it myself. It was like it was slowly building all of these things. And it just goes to show you that even though doctors are so much better about keeping an eye on our mental health postpartum, that this pandemic life triggers things in ways that I didn't recognize, and I knew to be on the lookout for it because I had really severe postpartum anxiety for the first year after Abraham was born. Like, if I was having it as bad as I had it with Abraham right now, I'd probably have to go on medication, and I didn't because I was trying to white knuckle it back then. And I'm hoping that this doesn't spiral into that because it was so terrible. I had such bad anxiety, and I think that it's just the way me personally, the way my hormones settle postpartum, because your whole body has to re-regulate itself, is that I get extreme anxiety. And I think everything that's going on, I was reading about different variants that go after kids, and I shouldn't have, but it's like this line between being informed, because I feel calmer being informed, but then, the doom scrolling, right? It's so hard. But I wanted to come on here, I want to talk about that because I've been really enjoying our postpartum period. I've been loving having a little baby around and seeing the two of them, learn to balance being little siblings. And then this kind of just hit me, and it just kind of whacked me in the head in a way that was so intense that I was like, I think we should share this, right? I don't want to cover this up and be like, oh yeah, I'm having a great postpartum, just kind of juggle that work-life balance. It's more than that, and it's really intense. And it took my breath away. I really felt like a bear was going to eat me yesterday. Like, that was the sensation. If a bear was hunting you in the woods and you were like, ah, that's how I felt by the peak of it yesterday. I was nauseous. I thought I was going to throw up. It was, oh yes, my love, yes. Oh, you need some milkies? Some milkies, even though you just ate and then you pooped up? You pooped up some milkies too? But it feels good to talk about it. And so if you're like not talking about those feelings postpartum, do it. Talk about it. If your friends are postpartum, ask them about it in ways that might not be the most obvious. Like, are you feeling postpartum anxiety or depression? Just talk about things that might be stressing them out, because I was doing really well coping, getting stuff done, getting this bare minimum, letting this go, and then this just hit me. And, I wish that a friend or a relative had been talking to me about these little things, because I think I would have recognized it earlier, It's so powerful. It really is. Oh my goodness. Postpartum and in the plague times is no easy thing. Oh, yes, my love. Oh, I love you though, my biscuits. I do. But it feels good to have woken up in not a sheer state of panic. And what I recognize is that for several days now I've been waking up in a panic attack. Like I've just been in this panic attack. And that's what part of this feeling has been. And it's still there. I feel it, but it really felt good to say that and to recognize it and to not wake up in sheer panic this morning, which let me realize I had been waking up in sheer panic for days, and I didn't know it. Sneaky anxiety and panic attacks are just sneaky little jerkheads. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let's say hi. Hi, I'm a cute baby. I'm gonna help my mommy do the flooring this week. That's another video. But yes, some DIY projects, getting the studio for all of my self-care and my burlesque content ready, because that actually makes me happy. I really enjoy that. Oh, there's a hummingbird outside. How beautiful. Focus. But, along with the fun and the good, the wonderful stuff that I get to do in life, I do have these panic things that has started occurring in my life. And it really does seem to revolve around health stuff. Health stuff seems to really terrify me in ways that, I don't know. My conscious is not fully aware of it. But I want to be open about that. I want to feel like this channel is not just, happy vlogs, breast advice, and homemaking. I want it. There's so much more to that, to motherhood and to being a woman in today's world, right? That it deserves being talked about. So I hope this vlog hasn't caused you anxiety. I hope that it's made you go, okay, I can talk about it. I recognize this in myself. Oh, I should keep an eye on that, because it's powerful. It's powerful to have an online community together of parents. Yeah, because moms and dads, all parents, caregivers can have anxiety and panic attacks from different things, because like in my case, it's not necessarily parenting related that my anxieties come out at, but I think that the postpartum hormones exacerbate my health panic attacks that I get, my panic disorder. So feels good to recognize it. I might even sign up for a therapy session, which I haven't done in years. I think it's like 4 to 6 months out at least, if you can even get an appointment with somebody right now. But I wonder if it would be just helpful to try and get to the root of why my health anxieties are this bad. So it's kind of on my list. I'll admit it. This makes me feel so vulnerable, because this is talking about stuff that makes me feel really weak and whiny, and then guilty that I feel that way, or that I would think that way about things that are very real mentally. So it's such a hard combo, but I'm putting it out there. Okay, I will see you in the next video. I hope that my panic will have subsided a bit. I think what I need to do is like re-enter the world a tiny bit now, so that I feel less panicky about getting outside of bubbles and things. Yeah, I think that's what I kind of have to do. And I think I need to do some self-care. I know I was talking about in some of the other vlogs. I think I need to go like get my brother and my sister to watch the kids, and like go get a foot massage, go do something that is physically soothing for me, because that really helps my mental state. Because I've clearly hit a point where I'm like, okay, I need to do something a little bit different to make things work, and be happy, because that's important. You want a mama that's functioning and happy, and not in a sheer state of agitated panic, because that's no fun. Okay, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you, Biscuits, for being so lovely. Some of the most powerful messages I've gotten from you has been when I've been talking on Instagram about panic attacks. And it's been really, really touching that this subject touches so many of us parents, that it is a really widely felt emotional and mental state. Oh, I get distracted looking at her cute. Okay, I'm going to see you next vlog. Big hugs. Ooh, I'm one-handed hugging you because I'm holding the camera, keeping her little noggin from flopping.